Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another commentary, this time playing Gragas Jungle, one of my favourite junglers to play currently, and he's, well, really been one of my favourite champions in the game for quite some time now, and now with the recent changes to Spirit Stone and the Spectral Wraith item, it's really brought Gragas into his own in the jungle. So I did actually have a commentary that I wanted to do instead of this one, but with all the little replay bugs with the recent patch, unfortunately that one became corrupt, and I've had to use this one that I actually played earlier today with my duo queue partner Vale, who's also in my competitive team. So Gragas Jungle is a fairly aggressive jungler. In the early stages of the game, you do a considerable amount of damage, and invading with a Gragas is actually a good thing to do, as taking E level 1 does not hurt your jungle. You normally take E at level 1, and that is really also good for invading. So as we can see, the enemy are looking for an invade. Unfortunately, they just move out of the bush as Vale throws his hook out, and we're not in a great position-wise, so we do just decide to back out. Also, Pantheon, I may as well mention, is in this game too. He has shown a burst of popularity up again, due to a couple of changes here and there. Personally, I think he's actually quite good in the jungle right now, with the Spirit Stone item makes him that he doesn't go out of mana all the time. But in this instance, he's being played mid against our Talon, and I'd probably give the advantage in that lane to Pantheon. So I'm going to head over to my red buff. I'm going to speed up the game just to make this a little bit quicker, as obviously the boring farm stages you don't really want to watch. So the good job to the Caitlyn actually starting it before I get there. Obviously use my E to do a bit of damage. Now E does do a lot of damage, and when you're playing Gragas Jungle, do not underestimate yourself. Now if you're wondering what my runes and masteries are, very easy, just go on my LOL King page or my profile in League, which is obviously AZO Huzz on Europe West, and both of them are called Gragas Jungle. I have specific pages for both runes and masteries, and it consists of AP and attack speed in the runes, with armor in the yellows, no magic resist, and then a very offensive page for the masteries going 2190. Anyway, I'm heading up top lane, most likely, or maybe I'm just looking for mid, maybe wanting to fight the Kazakhs in the early stages, but still have to be careful because I don't really want to give him that much. First blood goes down to the bot lane, well played to them, and I am now looking for a gank onto the Pantheon. See if we can do anything. Unfortunately, Talon just took a little bit too much damage before the gank was incoming because he had to back off, unfortunately. There is also a gank up top lane. Renekton's is dueling with the Kazakhs, which is a bit questionable, but he does manage to get out safely. And again, I am looking for this Pantheon. Talon is positioning in an okay position, won't say he's terrible, and we are going to move in any second. He stuns me, which actually is a fairly big stun for this time of the game. But now we are doing a little bit of fight. Kazakhs moves into the mix, but I think I may survive here fairly easily. So that was okay. You know, Talon could have gone in a little bit more than he did, but neither of us died. So in this stage of the game, we don't want a Kazakhs or a Pantheon to snowball. Obviously, the other way around, if a Gragas snowballs or a Talon snowballs, it's going to be a great game for us. But especially on the enemy team, if they snowball, then they'll also be doing quite well. So the enemy team, big thing you've got to notice is they've got one tank. They have got a Mundo, and you know, Mundo, I highly rate him in the current meta right now. He's very, very strong, but he's not unbeatable. We've got 3 or 2 ignites in this team that you can just throw it on him in a team fight every 5 or 3 minutes whenever it's up. 3 minutes it is, and that basically gets rid of his ultimate, and if he's only building health and not resistances, then he should go down fairly quickly. Anyway, Kazakhs has been waiting in this bush, which you actually have vision of for quite a while. I was waiting in the opposite bush, but it doesn't really get me anything. So I'm looking for a bot lane gank now, coming through the river. Ask Vale, is there any wards? He says no, so here we go, moving in for the gank. Double flail, really nice play. Vayne should go down, there she does, to the Caitlyn, and I think I used the little lantern there and probably going to finish off the kill for myself. There we go, nice kill, really nice gank and good communication, and this is why right now I am quite enjoying a duo queue partner, because in this stage of the season, I'm not even going to hide it, there is a kind of imbalance in how much you're gaining. There's no caps, there's no there's no clamping, or apparently there's none, so you should be able to climb really quickly right now. And that's where I would recommend a duo queue partner. If you do think you can get higher where you currently are, go in a duo queue partner which you trust them and you can play different roles so you're not going over each other's toes, then that's great. Because Vale, his main roles is he's our top laner in the team, he loves playing support, especially Thresh, and he also is a good mid laner. Or obviously myself, my weakless lane is support, which he'll do if I have to, which it works really well. We've been in bot lane several times and you will actually see some of them commentaries because I did play a good Jinx game and a good Caitlyn game, so you'll also see them in the upcoming days. So just doing a bit more jungle clear. CS wise, I'm fairly even with the Kazakhs right now, but we haven't actually been farming that much. If we actually look at the CS in the overall game, we've got Renekton slightly ahead of Mundo. I'm slightly ahead of Kazakhs now. Mid lane is the biggest difference, or one of the biggest differences, with Talon actually getting denied really badly. Pantheon is nearly double the Talon in CS. Bot lane, Caitlyn's doing good farming, but you'd kind of expect that, as she's also gone for a very balls deep type of build, because she's gone straight for a pickaxe, and that kind of tells you she's looking for blood. She wants to get them kills on a Vayne in lane phase. So again, I'm just going to speed up the game just to make it a little bit quicker, as you guys probably don't want to watch this big fat guy running around not really doing anything. So I will actually point out that Pantheon did use his man drop, and that could have been avoided. I think a second or so before that situation happened, we saw Kazakhs go mid, and it was fairly obvious that he was going top. Although, good roam by the Talon, and actually manages to get the dragon, get a kill onto the Mundo, so he gets something at least to try and get himself, going. Anyway, the enemy team have decided to start the dragon. Unfortunately, I'm not level 6, obviously. If I was, that would be a really nice situation. And we're actually, Pantheon, he's kind of jumped out of the base, and Vale does go down to the Vayne. So, I don't know, maybe just a misunderstanding of how much damage they actually do right now. So, the enemy team, they don't actually have an advantage, even though they got the dragon, which is quite risky or quite not very good for them. We're also going to look for the kill, but right now, well, if you guys know, Pantheon can jump to minions with his W. Kazakhs is moving over, and unfortunately, if Talon stayed in that bush, I reckon we would have got Kazakhs straight away. But now Kazakhs is running into our jungle, and I'm going to try my best to get the kill on him. My team should be moving up any second to close him off, and he jumps straight into a Talon, which I get an assist for. Talon gets the kill, so again, helping him snowball into that stage of the game. He also uses his ultimate as the Annie was moving in, and Vale lanterns me out. So that was really nice team play. Get a kill on their jungler, and then, that was good play. So well played to Talon. He also rakes behind him just to make sure nobody's chasing. Better to be safe than sorry, I suppose. Top lane, Renekton's doing fairly well. Does go for a trade, which, yeah, it's good and bad that he's trading with a Mundo. The more you're going to deny a Mundo, the later it's going to be until he gets to that really hefty stage of the game. You have to see in the items, etc. Only Renekton now has bought his Giant's Belt and probably going to be building into a Spirit Visage as his first item. Where Mundo, he did have a Giant's Belt, I believe, before that dive came in. So, Renekton must be doing something right. Anyway, I'm going to head over to the blue buff, and soon I should be level 6, and that is when Gragas really does come to his own as a jungler. Now, don't get me wrong, he can gank pre-6. He's not one of them junglers that is totally reliant on his ultimate. He's, I find personal examples. I play Nocturne, I have played Hecarim, and they're champions that are fairly difficult to get going pre-6. Once they've got their ultimate, they can do very, very good, but before that, you're kind of just in a bit of limbo land. You're just farming. So yeah, Gragas is not one of them champions. He's much like an Elise or Vi that literally can just run in at any level. If it's level 2 with his E, he can just gank, as his mobility is, well, unbeatable nearly. Now, unfortunately, there was a gank going on in the bot lane. Caitlyn has not reacted at all to anything, which is rather frustrating when either they're chatting in, the chat box, or they're just not paying attention. Anyway, I am level 6, so they have to be. Well, I I'm going to do a fair amount of damage, but there are 4 of them, which could be their saving grace right now. Talon does do quite a nice damage, and any second, there's the barrel, and there's the kill onto the Kazakhs. So both me and Talon managed to survive so far. Pantheon is really low, so I'm going to look for the Pantheon kill, use my flash and barrel, get a kill for myself. So me and Talon in a 4v2 situation managed to turn it into a relatively good situation. But now Talon's kind of, well, let's see if he can do it. He will get the kill onto the Vayne and run, Forest, run. He's going to see if he can survive, and he is on chase, and he does manage to get out. So that is really good play by Talon right there. Was looking if Annie went in there. We're a bit confused of where she went, because we wouldn't have thought she would have backed out straight away, but she actually did. She didn't want any of it, so she backed and actually based straight away. So I was helping her push a bit, but Caitlyn told me with a ping that she wanted the farm, so I respected that and just moved off. So my score being 203 right now, with equal farm to the Kazakhs in this stage of the game. So I'm doing okay. My damage, as you can see, I killed them golems really quickly with that smite, so it is going fairly well. Top lane, while I'm basing, he is going to be getting yanked, but the thing with a Mundo, and if you don't have a jungler with CC, there's not much shutdown you can do. Now, don't get me wrong, your damage will be great, your kiting potential will be good, but your CC, your lockdown, if it's a Renekton that has 2 E's that can slice and dice, then you're actually looking really strong as a Renekton versus a Mundo Kha'Zix. Now, we know Pantheon is coming into this area. I'm running to top lane as quick as I can. If you can see, Talon on the minimap is also moving in, so we're going to see what we can do. They have started the dive. There's my ultimate to knock them both into turret range. He does go down, but we're going to continue for the kills. So here we go, moving in for the Pantheon. Get there, another kill for me, so I'm now 304, and we're going to continue for the Kazakhs, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to pick him up. And here's one thing that I do well. I tank the turret for Talon as he's running through it. That makes him near enough full health, rake onto the Kazakhs, and there we go, gets the kill. So sometimes, as a jungler or any part of the game, you've got to think ahead. You've got to think, I'm not going to gain any more gold for this, but my teammate will. Help him get the kill, and, you know, there's not really anything you can do wrong in that situation. Mid lane is currently getting sieged. As you can see, Tibbers has been used. They were looking kind of for a full engage, but then Vayne finds herself in a very awkward situation, but then comes the man drop, which is unfortunate. They do dodge the damage, but there comes the stun, and there comes the E, and unfortunate they do go down, which, I don't know, when you've got a Pantheon in your game, you've got to kind of expect that any second he's going to drop into battle and kill everything, if he is fairly strong. Now, this Pantheon, although the CS in this game is terrible, you've got to understand he'll still be doing a lot of damage. Now, he does actually flash Q, which picks up the kill. Sorry, I have hiccups in the moment. They will go away. But yeah, he's playing fairly well apart from the CS. Here we go. Talon is moving into the area. He actually pops Yumu's, which is a new one on my book. I've never seen someone do it. But he blows his ultimate quite far away, uses Yumu's for the movement speed, then jumps on their face and actually works relatively good. Anyway, I'm going to look for Kazakhs, and here you go. This is the trading potential of Gragas. So, Kazakhs is known as a good trader, but he's going to go down, bam, goodbye, and I am on a rampage. Gragas is so strong that people don't understand. His early game is good, his late game is even better. A lot of the time when I'm in jungle, I'll go the Spectral Wraith, and if I'm doing well, I'd go straight into a DFG and just one-shot their AD carry every single time. They can't do anything about it. Anyway, Talon has jumped onto the Annie, just to kind of get rid of them out of the dragon pit. I don't think he's going to go for the kill. I don't think he can. He is actually in a bit of trouble right now with Pantheon managed to get the W onto him, but I think they're okay. Now, I am fairly low health, so I don't want to be fighting anytime soon. So Caitlyn E's out of the back, and I will E over the wall. There we go, and I'll probably do the red buff and then end up basing. So where can you, or what type of composition could you fit a Gragas into? Now, Gragas is a champion that can be fit into any composition. You've just got to change your playstyle for it. If you're going through a all-in AoE, obviously that's where Gragas loves being, because he just brings it all in. But you've got to play very safely that you don't blow your ultimate, spreading them all out when you want to have them grouped in for the mass AoE damage. Use your ultimate to either bring more people into the AoE or throw somebody out that you don't want there. In this situation, in this game, if the Kazakhs became very, very fed, I'd use my ultimate on him, even if it wasn't going to kill him, just to get rid of him. Just so he can't get resets to kill people, and it's a very good use of the ultimate. So yeah, Gragas can be played into pretty much any composition. I can't really think of one that he wouldn't fit into dramatically. If it's a poke comp, he's got good barrels if you're great in landing them. AoE again, roam, split push, he's got the kit. He's like a Ziggs, he can do most things in the game. Anyway, was looking a little bit aggressive onto the Kha'Zix. That wasn't the best ultimate, I will admit, but Kha'Zix kind of does not go in the best position. Now I use my damage reduction just to kind of get that little advantage. Now, unfortunate, Kha'Zix fails his flash, but I didn't hit my barrel when he did it. So that was a bit of a misplay by me. Kha'Zix also didn't play that very well. Another thing I could have done was E away, then flash on top of him, and that also would have done a lot more damage, and that would have ended up getting the kill. I am actually a big fan of doing the E flashes. I haven't really done one in this game so far from what I've seen, but I have done actually later in this evening. This was in the middle of the day. I actually played a Gragas jungle game in 5v5s, and I was doing the flash E's quite a lot, although I wasn't playing very well that game, I must admit. Gonna do a bit more farming. I am actually starting to get quite a bit of CS lead onto the Kha'Zix, also my score being 404. So I'm gonna go back and buy, see what we get. Also got my sorcerer boots now, which again will give me a little bit more punch, so I can just hurt people a lot more. But let's see what I get. If we actually quickly look into the gold tab too, just so we can compare, we got the Renekton on 5-4, we got the Mundo on 4-7, so there's an advantage. Junglers, I'm on 5-7, we've got Kha'Zix on 4, so I'm ahead 1700 gold on the Kha'Zix. Mid lane, we've got Talon on 6-6, and we've got the Pantheon on 5-6, so there's an 1000 advantage for Talon. Although he's 20 CS behind. AD carries 5-4 for Caitlyn and 5 for Vayne, another advantage. While we're going on a gank here, that was actually a really nice play. A nice lantern into a nice hook, and that was a very, very nice play. Used my barrel, but unfortunately she flashes it, which, yeah, it's okay to do that. And then finally supports Thresh on 4-2 and Annie on 3-3. So that is a quite big advantage for my team right now. Item-wise, I bought 2 armor pieces because they are heavy reliant on their armor damage, which will be eventually going into the Seeker's our arm glass, whatever it's called, into a Zhonya's. Was looking for a bit of damage, but they do manage to get out in time. We're starting to just do a bit of siege right now. We have a Caitlyn, we have the Gragas, and we have the hook potential, and they are looking for the engage. So here we go. There's the Tibbers engage, and there's the Pantheon jumping on. They were looking for me, but they won't be able to get on me fully. But I think we may be able to manage to not lose too much in this fight, as we were fairly low, and that was kind of a mistake on us by staying around. Nice flay by Vale. Don't know if he's going to manage to survive, we'll have to see. Talon is moving in. Still has his ultimate, I think. Yes, he does. There's Yumu's, and here we go into them and managed to get 1 each. And Kha'Zix is looking to run away. So we're just going to follow the Kha'Zix. Me and Talon are looking for the kill. He's basing in an awkward position, and he actually moves. If he stayed there, there was a chance that he could have lived, but then Talon finds him in the bush, which we kind of expected, and there is Talon being 10-1-4 with awful CS. Can't even hide it. He has terrible CS in this game. Only 80 CS in 18 minutes in like a high platinum game in the early stages of the season. That is terrible. Like, he should be double. Imagine if he was double his CS right now, 160, which, would be great. But this whole game as a whole has been terrible CS. So my score being 505 right now. Picked up my Seeker's Arm Guard as a full item, and we're going to start building the extra armor and AP from killing minions. So this item, the Phoenix Codex, which is great for Gragas, CDR is always good for his E. That will eventually build into a DFG or an Athene's, but most likely in this game a DFG if I eventually get it. Top lane there is looking to be a dive of some sort, so I am running up there as quick as I can. There's the Renekton ultimate, but he kind of just jumps face in to all the Pantheon damage. Now actually I missed my ultimate there, which is fairly embarrassing, but the minions pick him up. So that was bad play by me, and that stuff will happen when you're kind of not really paying attention. Like, oh, that will hit, and then it ends up not hitting. And that is, you've got to be careful with Gragas, because if you're not on point, then you're not going to do very well. Vayne actually going quite aggro onto Vale, did actually flash to try and get the kill, but very nice flay manages to make him live, which is obviously worth it for us. Vayne without a flash will be hit by my ultimate if she isn't a master in dodging. Caitlyn staying in a bush while dueling a Kha'Zix is very well played. You get the crits more often, and he also jumped on top of a trap, and she actually manages to pick up double buffs from the Kha'Zix, which, hey, really well played to her. Anyway, the score being 22-13, we're about a 6,000 gold lead, so not the biggest lead of all time, but still one of note. And yeah, 505 Gragas. I've done okay things this game. I've done not very good things this game. But I love playing this champion, and if you're a mechanical player, if you're quite confident in your mechanics being quite good, then I would recommend picking up Gragas Jungle if you like that type of thing. So remember, I will add that my runes and masteries are on my LOL King page and are called Gragas Jungle. So if you do want to have that, the exact page, then it is there available for you. Now, Vayne was actually staying top farming, actually dueling the Renekton, and actually found a thingy there too. Now, there's a Tibbers, and they are going fairly aggressive on me. I use my ultimate to try and get rid of Kha'Zix, but then an Annie finds me, and there is the shutdown gold. They get the full 500 from me, which is a mistake on my part. I shouldn't have gone all the way in for that blue buff alone. Really nice hook on the Pantheon as soon as he W's in, meaning he can't do any more damage straight away, and they get a nice kill there. The enemy team are doing Dragon as Annie and Kha'Zix, but my team are doing the good thing and actually pushing up the mid wave. Unfortunate hook for Vale there, but they should be able to siege quite nicely, but they still have to be careful of in 10 seconds Pantheon will be up with the man drop. But there is the ultimate by Talon, just to scare the Mundo away. Mundo now does not have his flash, so that's always nice to know. Annie is in the area, but as you can see, Pantheon spam pinging on the minimap, and this is not going to be a pretty fight for my team. There is a lantern there ready, but yeah, as you can see, that was kind of a one-sided band, and he's going to try and get the Vayne. And he does actually manage to get it, so that's not that bad. It means that they may not be able to do Baron. If they had Vayne still alive, then they probably would have gone for it. But yeah. So I'm hovering around here just in case they decide to go for it. But then I see 3 of them in mid. I'm just going to kind of keep them around the area. Maybe just know that I'm there. Now they are actually pinging the Baron, which is good and bad for me. Gragas is one of the best anti-Baron champions in the game. They are actually going straight onto it. Now, they will do this fairly quickly. Vale is moving into the area, and we're going to see what we can do. So here we go. I am really deterring them, and there is my ultimate into the Q. They are really quite low, so we're going to see what else we can do. There's Talon moving in. We have stalled them enough. Mundo has moved onto me. I'm going to probably E onto him, then E away. So that was quite a nice escape, and Talon is going to continue going for the Mundo, which now I can actually also join in the fight. And we're also going to look for the Vayne. Now, what you just saw there was the flash E. I E'd, then flashed onto the Vayne in range that she'd get hit by the slow, and that actually secured the kill for us. So that's kind of what the type of situation you want to do. All I wanted was to slow the Vayne, and that's all I needed to do. I used my flash E straight onto her face and then backed off. They never expect it, which is why it's kind of so strong. Now Pantheon will most likely go down, I would imagine, any second. Now also Kha'Zix is moving in, but straight away he ultimate by Talon. Very nice play, and he should go down. Unstoppable Talon, 1737 with 111 CS, which is god-awful, which you'd probably never expect, and she's probably dead as well. So there we go, 1837. So at the beginning of this game, you'd probably not imagine this Talon going this fed by the rate of his CS, but you know, that's a snowballing assassin for you. So anyway, my final score being 519. Hope you guys enjoyed this Gragas jungle commentary. More commentaries to come soon, and I'll probably even try to get another Gragas one in the near future. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Remember to like it if you like it, and in the comments below, say what champions you want to see, say what roles you want to see, and I may just cover them in upcoming videos. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.